Good morning. Welcome in the very, very early hours for l'Italia. I have a talk planned, how my car accident brought me enlightenment. And I woke up with inspiration of doing it. So here I am in my pajamas in my bed. This is how I look when I wake up. Beautiful. Let's start. My car accident was in 2011. It was 84 years ago. I need to put here the woman from the Titanic. It was when my car, that had the same age as me, found grip on a highway of oil and water instead of the asphalt underneath. So instead of the 60 degrees corner that I should have made, my car drove with around 70 kilometers an hour right into the iron catchy thingies. I woke up in the ambulance with a completely different reality, but I wasn't aware yet. First, it looked like, from the eyes of the beholder, and definitely if you see my car wreck, it looked like I was the most luckiest person on this fucking planet. You could even see a bump in the door from my head. I don't know how it's called, but you understand what I'm doing. Doesn't help if you go to the left. No airbag, of course. I said the car was as old as me, but the traffic was not. Was evolutionary. Well, became a lot quicker than the 90s, 80s. I got lucky. I had no broken bones, no bleeding in the brain. So I was sent home the same day. I turned out to have chronic pain from a whiplash and a TBI brain. There's a lot more to the story. This was just the massive, aggressive opening of the path of self-inquirement. Because a lot happened before my car accident where I was just blind of. Life was done with me being blind. So she gave me the opportunity that I needed to dive in the depth of despair. But true, I'm a poet also, but true. Gee, I am a very intense woman. The emotional field that is in and around me of this one is enormous. On a normal day, I can call the intensity of life that I experience life as a year. My brain is very intense. Can you imagine being so sensitive, so fucking sensitive, to wake up one day and the reality that you know is just gone? My vision was different. I couldn't see straight. Do you know the painter Escher? Maybe I can put it here. I don't know how it works. This is my first video, guys. No, my second. I have some... Well, never mind. That's why I woke up doing it, because I don't know what to do, and I find it very... I'm quite anxious about it, so I'm doing it in my pajamas. Apparently that's normal. Anyways, Escher. And otherwise, if it doesn't work, I cannot know how, look it up on the internet. That is the guy, the Dutch artist, that makes stairwalls, staring cases, that you don't know what's up and what's down. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. My whole vision, my taste, my everything changed by a second. The most terrifying thing is, years later, I recognized that because of a trauma I experienced before in my life. I will have a different video for that, because it's different subjects, you know. But it comes together here, because that trauma was ignored by myself and my parents and all my caregivers. I started an identity that I believed that I made it up, and that created an identity in me that believed that I make everything up. I don't know if you know that it can be super strong, but then even I believed that I made up my pain and my brain injury from my car accident. It's fucking crazy. But this realization came years later, after my car accident, after the 7 years of death. No, really, really, really. The pain was excruciating. And it is in the head, the neck, the shoulders, into the arms area. Can you imagine that you're not able to eat food all the fucking time because you just cannot swallow it? I had to learn to eat food in a blender just so that I could take care of myself the best way. I lost my house. I lost my job. I lost friends. Oh. I started to live in a tiny house in Amsterdam with no water, no heating. No electricity in the beginning in winter time. Summer it was a little piece of heaven. Winter it was a little piece of hell. And there I sat for 7 years in a very dark corner. There I was dying. There was time in between. Of course, you cannot tell this story in 15 minutes. But I can tell you the emotional field I was in, the experience with having a brain injury, not being able to walk because your brain just don't remember how, being exhausted all the time, puking all the time. And it seems that nothing is wrong with you because it's in your brain. So even your brain doesn't really believe it's true. Or maybe it was only my brain. No, because my sister has a small accident and she had a tiny brain injury. And she has now the same thing with her brain. And she's like, yeah, but technically it seems like I can do the things, but you cannot. It's just, I couldn't even cut my own food. I couldn't wash my hair. I can. It brought me to the depth of despair. I felt buried inside my body. And God took away the air a bit every day. I explained it in a poem that the only resource of me being able to breathe was like, how does this called? Straw. A, a paper straw in a muddy environment. So you put so the paper straw is like slipping. I love her so much. It was so dark. She was so fucking strong. How can you live like that? And be determined. Determined. At some point, 2 years later, 2 years after my accident, I thought about suicide, obviously, way before the 2 years after the accident, because this is your life. And nobody is fucking taking you seriously. Nobody. I mean, you look like this. Everything's happened inside you, and they know nothing about the fucking brain. So, I had one real suicide attempt. But I couldn't even make it to the railways. Because life, the force of life, the one who gifted me my car accident, was also the one who said, no, Lindsay. You are going to find something in this darkness. So, I made a choice. 5 years later, 5 years to say, so to say, 5 years later. Okay, if this is my life, if I need to be in this darkness, and I'm not killing myself apparently, let me choose to be in this darkness. And it was not, oh, let me think about it and choose. Should I be, should I not be? I didn't have a choice. The darkness was me. There was nothing left. I don't know, people understand. I don't know if people understand. It's okay. And the reason why I say choice is because I am mastering observing and reprogramming the brain, and I know what to say, what to do, what to think to give this human the experience that she desires, to be in the position of seeing her choosing. It's so fucking empowering. Well, you can also explain it as because I was fighting so intense for 7-8 years. I was just so exhausted that I couldn't. So I let go. I let go of trying to retrieve my old reality back, to retrieve the woman back that I was desperately want to be. The woman before the accident. I realized in this whole fucking journey after the awakening that the woman before the accident was also never loved. What? This is a different story. What is love? Is the question. Well, if you know God, you know love. I mean, awakening is the experience of oneness. There is no wrong or right anymore. There is just one. So I do not say, oh my, well, it's okay, good morning people. I do not say it is only my car accident that brought me on the path of enlightenment. It is the car accident that opened the door to me learning self-acquiry. Is that a word? Acquiry. Step into this human, because outside of my human I couldn't see because of my brain. So I turned it inwards and I didn't know it was a thing. I wasn't spiritual at all. I mean, I had even I want you to know, if you look at this video, a bit of her. She speaks about the brain so much. Why? Because the brain is the creator of worlds. I know this because it took me just 1 second to be kicked out of mine. The brain is the power that wields consciousness for the human being. I don't say only the brain is consciousness. No, fuck no, consciousness is everything. Consciousness is God. But we as a human being can mine the experience of consciousness through the brain. We can self-inquire us to enlightenment with our brain. And I want you to know that you don't have to wait for a fucking car accident. If you have a brain that is super intense, if you are sensitive like me, if you are done with being fucking tired all the time, if you are done with the secret cages that you put yourself in because society is how society is, your mom is how your mom is, and the feelings that you have are excruciating big, then you are for me. I am for you. You can turn this whole process around exactly for your human being. And in the meanwhile, just for fun, you can even reach enlightenment while going through the process of reprogramming your brain. I will make a very clear post. I hope I'm learning a lot, dudes. I am happy that you're here with me. I just start my coaching business. I don't even know. I'm Lindsay Patricia. I'm a writer. I'm a mind artist. I'm a poet. And I feel called, after the realization that I can, with this brain, I can do it in my own fucking way. So apparently in my pajamas. I feel called to tell as many as people as possible, if you are tired of life because you don't fit and you're fucking sensitive and the pain is excruciating. It doesn't need to be physical pain. It can be emotional pain. It can be mental pain. It can be spiritual pain. If it's just all too fucking much, you are for me, please. Come into my field and let's shine. Let me shine with you in your darkness. Let me reprogram your brain. Now, let me tell you how you will reprogram your brain so that you will experience an inner cheerleader instead of an inner critic. A space instead of imprisonment. Opportunities instead of and possibilities, endless possibilities. Because you are so intelligent and nobody told you how to use your fucking brain. They only installed it secretly by themselves. Well, 99% didn't know, but still this happened. And you can now start to consciously do it by yourself, and she will work for the human that you are in. And this is exactly why you're fucking here. And thank you for watching the video. And I will stop now because it's very, very long. I write a blog, Deliciously Conscious. You can find it in my bio. I do now one-on-one coaching. I'm just starting. It's very cheap. It has a bit of exchange in money because we need to put a value on it. You know, I know how to talk. I do it with all my humans outside. I do not speak about anything else. I am an obsessed motherfucker. I'm like a drug addict in self-inquiry. I will do nothing else. And I want to bring you with me. It's just starting. It's just starting. Thank you. Thank you.